Hello and welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Talk Podcast. This is episode 138, and as you see, we recently were at the Real Deal Miami conference, which occurred this past week on election week in America. There's a lot of news to talk about, but we're going to keep this one short, laser focused on the real deal, keep it short. Had a chance to meet the mayor of Miami, Mayor Suarez. Had a chance to meet SpongeBob, so those were the highlights of the week. We'll give you a little synopsis, but thank you for tuning in. I'm George Morales, president of Blue Box Real Estate, independent commercial real estate firm, best in class. Contact us at blueboxre.com if you are in South Florida or anywhere in Florida. We're happy to talk to you. We know good folks. If we can't help you, we'll point you in the right direction. So with that said, and that behind us, let's jump right in. We'll do some housekeeping at the end, but I want to take you to a few words from Mayor Suarez, and he spoke on three key issues that set Miami apart. Here's some pictures, as you can see, of the conference. It was well attended, related. All the residential developers were there, as you could imagine. It was well attended. Hundreds, if not thousands, were there through the week. This took place on Wednesday and Thursday of this past week. This is Friday as I'm recording this. Heard from a lot of good folks. We heard from commercial to residential, but I wanted to play Mayor Suarez. I thought this would be the most interesting. And he speaks of three. I couldn't get the number one point because someone stepped right in front of my phone as I was recording. But he spoke of three key issues related to Miami and what kept Miami moving. I wrote them down here. I'm looking for them. All right, and just let me give you a summary of them. 1, low taxes. 2, keeping people safe. 3, innovation. So I missed the low taxes. So you're familiar with Florida. You know that we have homestead taxes. We have no state income taxes. We also have low corporate taxes. And actually, Floridians passed on the ballot. There was an amendment to bring our homestead exemption taxes to inflation or have inflation applied to it. You know, my wife and I bought our first home in 1999. The homestead exemption was $25,000 per person or $50,000 per couple. You know what it is in 2024, 25 years later? $25,000 per person and $50,000 per couple. So homestead provides two protections. Number one, you get that deduct as a credit from your assessed value. But imagine when we bought our first house, it was $109,000. So almost 50% was not taxable for real estate taxes. Today, the average home is $600,000-$700,000 in Miami or South Florida, so that's very minimal. So it's about time that was brought up with inflation. It also protects you. Assessed value can only go up 3% per year. So on your whatever property, residential property declares your homestead, that's the house that you reside in, once your property is assessed, when you buy it, it cannot increase more than 3% per year. That's a huge benefit. And really the lastly, so I said 2, but there's 3, is the reason why you see folks move into town in Florida and declare homestead here is that you can never lose your homestead. So you can get sued personally, civilly. You can get bankrupt. They can come after everything that you own, but they can in Florida come after your homestead property. So those are 3 things, benefits from homestead. But low taxes, safety, and innovation. This is what Mayor Suarez talked about. I missed the first one on low taxes, but here he is talking about the other 2.
Success. And this is something that a lot of American cities can learn from. We keep people safe. Okay? So in 1980, we had 220 murders in the city of Miami. That means 2 out of every 3 days somebody died in our city. Last year, with 25% more population, we had 31, an 85% decline. This year, 24. So we're going to break last year's record. And the last pillar is we lean into innovation. We want to make sure that our ecosystem provides you with the best opportunity to be successful and provides your children for their future. And so we have the lowest unemployment in America. Woo! We have the highest wage growth in America. And we have brought $10 trillion worth of asset managed companies to our ecosystem. We've grown our venture capital pipeline by 500% in the last 3 years, and we are not going to stop.
All right, listen, that was not only the gist of his message, but that was about all his message. Um, love our mayor, but he spoke very briefly and succinctly, and a lot of folks were waiting all day to 3:30, 4 o'clock to get that message. But I had a wonderful chance to meet him. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2020 we see that Mayor Suarez, 2020, in 2026, 2028, whenever our Governor DeSantis is up his term, Mayor Suarez running for that spot. So keep an eye on him. He has 365 days left, 1 year left in his term as mayor. He's termed out, and then all eyes will be on what is he going to do. He might be the most popular mayor in all of America, especially with what's happening with all the trillions of dollars that have poured in here. He was really a catalyst during COVID of saying, we got to turn the ship around. Let's go. He saw what was happening, the trends in terms of the big firms coming, cryptocurrency and the tech and the wealth management firms coming from New York. He went over there. He brought the business leaders, developers together and really pushed Miami to where we are now and made Miami essentially, he really took a lot of credit, or should take a lot of credit, making Miami a red state, red city this past election. Okay, so let me give you a quick synopsis of the office market. Very, very simple, and then we'll be out of here. And there was a conference. I want to give credit to the panelists, Tere Blanca, Blanca Commercial Real Estate, and Jeremy Larkin of NAI. I think they're NAI Miami Marin Miami. I'm not sure what their new name is, but they spoke to the office sector. Now, in the height, 2022, 2023, we saw about 20% of new leases, office demand, being signed by folks coming out of New York, Chicago, even California, for new office demand, coming in droves and taking large blocks of space, taking a very expensive space. So that has noticeably slowed down in 2024. It's down about 12%. Leasing demand is down. And the question was, is this reverting? Is this a slowdown? Is this a trend? What's going on? But I really appreciated what Teddy said. And if you're not familiar, Blanca Commercial is an independent firm down here, and they really specialize in landlord accounts. They've got agency accounts from Waterford to Doral to Miami to Coral Gables, even all the way up into Broward County. So they're competing with the big boys, and really hats off to the firm that she's built. But this is what she said, and she's also very active in the Beacon Council, so she's kind of at the tip of the spear. It's not so much that demand has slowed down. There's a huge pipeline. There's pent-up demand. It's that these firms are waiting for the next round of construction, because what's left right now in the Miami market tends to be older B buildings or older A buildings, and they're not up to par with the newer buildings or the premium buildings that space is leased up. And Brickell, think 830 Brickell Plaza topped off topped off leasing before they even got their CO, and that's where a lot of the large deals went. And 701 Brickell, 801 Brickell, these top tier 600, 1450 Brickell, these top tier towers, Southeast Financial, in the CBD of Miami and in Palm Beach are filling up. The premium spaces are gone. So you've got pent-up demand, but New York tenants, they're used to a pretty high level of landlords, a high level of properties with amenities and sightlines and so forth. And so Miami is coming. There's 3 million square feet of Class A space under construction. So that's going to take a few years. We're probably looking at 2-3 years before that officially hits the market. And then we should get back to the 20-25% of inflow of new-to-market tenants. So I thought that was fascinating look at what's going on in Miami. We're into this transformation period where older B building landlords are going to have to reinvent those buildings. We're in a market where in Doral, we are seeing properties, office buildings built in 2008, 2010. That's not that long ago, folks. Since the Great Recession, office buildings that were built are now being sold and knocked down in order to build warehouses. For example, in a market like Doral, which is a suburban market of Miami, you've got office rents somewhere in the 25 to 30 on a triple net basis. Expenses can be anywhere from another 15 plus or minus a foot. Well, you've got one project of 3 buildings, and 2 of the office buildings are going to get knocked down, and warehousing is going to get built. Why? Well, warehouses right now in the Doral, which is a western suburb of Miami, near the airport, west of Miami Airport, 20 triple net rents for new product. Again, your CAM is lower, your real estate, everything is lower, and there's no, hey, having to repaint and carpet and do build outs that are costing north of $100 a square foot for the interiors. You build a warehouse, 100,000 feet, you might have 5 to 20,000, maybe 15,000 feet of office. So your costs are so much less to build, and your returns are greater. So we're starting to see where all older office buildings are being repurposed, knocked down, and warehouses coming. In key markets like the Gables or Brickell or downtown, perhaps those older buildings are going to have to go condo or be torn down or be converted to hotel or multifamily. So that's what's happening. So we've got this kind of pent-up demand from new-to-market office users just waiting for the new buildings. And some of the new buildings that are under construction include Banco Santander's beautiful project on 14th and Brickell, and they're going to be the anchor tenant and take a large portion of that building. You've got Citadel building a monstrosity of an office mixed-use building, and they're going to be the large anchor tenant there. So those two are happening. And New York tenants, Chicago, other markets, they're waiting for those to be built. So that's just a quick, brief outlook of what's happening in Miami. There are 30,000 condo units being built. They're all being branded. You've got Bentley and Porsche and Pagani and all. That's the latest trend. Hotel brands, condo brands. This is all happening. Per square foot prices are getting upwards of $4,000 a square foot. And exciting things are happening. So if you think Miami has undergone a huge transformation, we're maybe just at the genesis of it. We are at the cusp of another round of just massive changes that are coming to the skyline of Miami. So that's just kind of my brief synopsis of what's happening in commercial real estate. A little bit of what's happening. I'm not really in the residential real estate, but it's impacting because it's bringing more housing and it's bringing more retail and it's creating more opportunity for demand on the office side. These are all synergizing together and just continuing to promote Miami as the financial capital, as the Latin America capital. Crypto slowed down a little bit, but tech is really coming in a big way as well. All right, look, that's it for today's podcast. We're going to keep it short. Thanks for being patient with us. We were off the air for a while. We've just been doing our shorts on commercial real estate. If you haven't subscribed, please do give us a thumbs up. That tells YouTube to promote that video to others who are interested in commercial real estate, specifically Miami today. And if you haven't gone to don'tsignthelease.com/book, I encourage you to go there, pick up a copy of Commercial Real Estate Office Leasing if you want to learn more about commercial real estate. Remember Proverbs 20:18, plans are established by counsel, by wise counsel, wage war. All righty, have a good week. We've had a great week this week, and we look forward to talking to you again in the near future. God bless.